stream?
No, you can't. So
definitely not.
There is a thing where it's like you shouldn't drink too much of it, right? Like I think it says on the can.
yeah, maybe.
I've never read the can.
Well, we are now
Grant
into
has
the
definitely
game.
never read the can either. I can tell you that much. I'm pretty sure Grant just has a shotgun method for Monster now. He just drinks like 2 or 3.
Don't do that at home, kids.
Probably.
He's a professional, trained by Monster Energy for Monster Energy.
That's right. Well, we're into the draft.
To answer your question, Bricky, yes, they did.
Plus, I had a psychology advantage of 2-0 over them yesterday. So
Okay.
Glorious. All right, well, we're getting ready to hop into this game. Lumi, do you agreeing? You picking up what they're putting down? You feeling it?
This game is going to be defined by the mids, in my opinion. On one side, OD has a lot of pressure on him. He's the one that's supposed to be defending the high ground against the Terrorblade. He needs to want to break up the X-Torn combo. On the other side, maybe's Puck needs to be getting his Raining Rift on point to actually ensure these kills on Ember, on the OD and whatnot. So, can I do a cop-out answer and say, can I watch the mid lane
You
for 5
gotta
minutes?
pick a team, man.
Who do you
Because
believe
I
in
really
more?
think this draft is even. I think both teams could win it.
But
If you make me choose one,
But they're saying an opinion. It's what your opinion is.
LG is gonna win it because I think maybe he's gonna just be the better player in the clutch.
Okay.
All right, well, thank
Good
you
answer.
guys again so much. We're going to hop into this one as it looks like early movement out. They are going to spot Old 11, smoking a break. A little bit of a, hey, how you doing? Thought about the stun, but not going to throw it out there. And that might signal that there's a ward over in this area. We'll see if LGD are able to get the D ward, as Batrider does have one on him. But we'll have to watch that mid very closely and see. I mean, is there any heroes that are going to be able to rotate really towards mid to try and alleviate that tension? Warlock's not really the best. I guess Kunkka would probably be the main one from LGD.
It's Slaughter, because especially if your mid player gets to walk in and set up an Astral, that's 4 seconds for your Slaughter to walk in to set up yet another stun. With that said, though, Puck, if he has Orb or Phage available, should be able to dodge that. So I think we're going to see more of a 1v1, and if the supports do come in and out of the lane, it won't provide too much help.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's the thing, too. We did end up getting 2 D wards here, so LGD able to take away the ward in their lane, and also EHOME.KEEN able to take away the one that wasn't actually blocking out the camp, but they still knew where it was. Yeah, no vision down there, but there is one mid that should give them a little bit of help for the OD.
All right, so quickly point out some of these Chinese characters for EHOME.KEEN, because I guess they're not as known as the LGD players. The mid player, it translates to something like bright or fluorescent.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to go with that. And then Slaughter's name translates to eloquent.
Eloquent. What a name.
Not a Dota name that you see too often, right?
It's almost like lyrical.
That is.
Yeah. All right, he's my new favorite player. Maybe in the mid here, he ended up changing up his name also. For anybody that's wondering, it is indeed the Puck. And Bright is just going to keep the pressure on him here, is already getting kind of aggressive early on, setting the tempo.
Gets the 2 lasted and the tower, or the lasted deny on the range creep. He is dominating over this OD right now.
Oh, and looks like Victoria trying to pull him past. They're going to end up connecting with the Torrent, so Mr. Eloquent won't quite be able to get Victoria out of there. Are they pulling the whole creep wave mid to get a double wave
that is
for
the
him?
play, man.
That
Experience.
is super cool.
Yeah. You know, I did that once in a pub. I sent my Lone Druid Bear to another lane and just stole my carry's creep wave. He wasn't very happy, but obviously they know about it here. The bottom lane, the Batrider, will suffer a little bit in terms of experience, but I think Puck is one of the heroes that would not mind at all to get that quicker level 6.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Old 11 is a playmaking hero, and I guess he is sometimes known for getting a lot done with very little. But that extra little bit of experience, how much do you think that's going to help maybe in this lane?
Quite a bit, especially since he's getting more denies over the OD. Now, I don't think these extra bit of experience will translate as solo kill later on, but it will mean a faster Blink Dagger or Veil of Discord.
Old 11 going to be forced to use the Firefly now. Maybe waited a little bit long for it, but he'll still be fine in the end. He does have a salve to move after the Shadow Word wears off.
Yep.
You can see already a little bit of that change. He's almost a full level ahead. Granted, that is with this big creep wave going under the tower.
He should be coming back. One thing I like to see Kunkka player doing a little bit more is actually using your torrent to stack camps as you're stacking yet another camp, especially in this particular scenario. If you're stacking for Batrider, you could really get the economic game going. It is a little bit tricky to get the timing off, especially if you're not used to it, but these are professionals.
Sure, he'll be able to get it done. It is a little bit of a less seen characteristic of the hero. I believe there's some. Oh, is he doing another one? He's pulling another pass.
Is it going mid or is it going bottom?
I'm sure he's going mid. Like, Victoria just wants to keep maybe stacked up here in the mid lane, and wrong, he doesn't know what to do. The other thing that's nice about this is it's also, well, it's also denying Wrong's ability to get the pull off. That's the other big thing that happens here.
He could pull this camp, right? The bigger camp, and just deny.
No, but it's a whole wave that it isn't deniable because of that.
All right, Victoria, where are you going with that wave? He is doing the...
Please
don't die here, Victoria. Please do not. Okay, he's fine. He's got the creep rate on.
Yeah, he's gonna be good.
Are you sure that one creep is...
It's getting in.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. He's pulling for himself. The Batrider is not getting here to experience.
Yeah, Batrider instead is gonna come and contest for these stacks, and 11 able to get it. So a very interesting use of the resources. I actually really like this a lot. It's, even if it doesn't end up making the biggest, we're looking at that, ends up getting a solo on maybe. That is terrible.
Yeah. I didn't watch how that happened, but it looks like Puck just committed for a kill, and he did not have simple calculus and misjudged it by like 90 HP or so. Okay.
Well, early on, it's a little bit of an advantage into the favor of LGD. Nothing super significant, but we'll have to see how well this Kunkka is able to make use of the early farm that he's gotten. Already level 3 is just right on even with Old 11 on the Batrider.
The problem with Victoria is that even though he's got this early start, he's got the early levels, there isn't a really good lane that he could gank into. Bottom is ungankable because they're not strong enough to fight there. I don't think they could gank the OD mid because of Astro.
You know what they might try and do is bring maybe into the bottom lane when he gets 6 and try and find a kill with that. That's probably the best look that they could do. Although they could maybe catch the silent onto OD, which would make the difference.
That's for sure.
But I think that it's going to be very key that maybe makes a rotation and groups up together with the Kunkka to find a kill. Because like you said, Kunkka can't do it alone. A little bit of a pause now. Lumi, do you think that in spite of that solo kill on the Puck, LGD are still feeling okay with the state of the game, or do you think that they're not entirely happy?
I don't think that solo kill should have ever happened, but like I mentioned, they were essentially dueling to the death, right? Like they both committed it. He orbited forward and everything. He misjudged. That could happen, but it does impact the lane quite a bit.
He doesn't have a point phase shift.
What is there to phase shift?
An orb? Does he have an orb yet? Yeah, he has an orb.
I guess so, but it's like just having the... I think he committed the nuke there to get the kill, right, earlier.
Okay.
I mean, you're not phase shifting like a Dragon Slave in comparison, right, or a Scream of Pain, so... Yes, there is something in phase shift, but nothing like huge.
Yeah, I guess that's fair enough. Well, again, Old 11 just being a nuisance in this lane. There is more pausing coming out, I'm sure. Every now and then you get these little hiccups in the servers, but that will soon be resolved, I'm sure. It's interesting to me that they talk in like not Chinese about lag and stuff.
No, they said Ka earlier today. Yeah, or earlier just now. Chinese people do speak English.
Thank you.
Although I'm not personally a strong example of them. Other Chinese people speak English.
Oh, Lumi, what a guy. All right, level 4 on the Ember. Victoria is down here, ready to maybe make something happen. And maybe, speaking of which, does have that level 6, but no TP. So any rotation in here won't end up happening until that gets delivered. And
I think they're waiting for the orb to come out, and as soon as he sees that, he's going to walk into Astro, and then Slaughter would try to set up for a kill. And OD, I think he picked up the fact that there is no phase, so the kill is possible. But of course, this ward has spotted the rotation of the Slaughter on the bottom half of the map, so he was very aware that the skank attempt is coming.
And they also dropped down this ward, which should signal that there is a ward in the area. See if LGD are able to get that D ward in a few. Regen rune up at the top. Maybe he's going to go check that one. Be very content with himself and maybe even think about taking a play up here on the top lane on the dark.
Yeah, that regen rune was actually very important. You can see that he doesn't have the bottle because he opted for boots and the magic wand. That's a lot of early game item commitment, but should pay for it very easily here. The coil commits, the break should get the kill. And unfortunately, they don't have Metamorphosis to transition into a quick tower push, but with the Bugatti here, they should be able to take it regardless.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage regardless, and the illusions, the right clicks, it's all there. Bottom lane, battles ensuing. They're going to be able to TP away just barely there on the Ember Spirit. So the 3-person rotation came in, X had already been used.
Yeah, you can see that despite 011 essentially lost 2 waves, he's actually very well leveled because Victoria has been helping him out by a couple of stacks in the jungle. And he's actually going to get level 6. And he's actually going to skip the drums that you normally see in the offlane Batrider straight into the blink. I think this kind of accelerated timing might surprise EHOME.KEEN a little bit.
I think the idea that they have here is the same type of thing as we saw before. We got a little bit of Kale. Since Victoria is going to have level 6 at around that 10-minute mark with the Tome, I would imagine that they can actually find kills with the blink, and that's the big difference maker, right? You usually see the drums because the rest of your team isn't able to follow up for a kill, but now having the coil as well as boat by that 10-minute mark when he's going to finish off his blink dagger, it's going to be really effective.
I think the other huge thing with this item difference is the fact that his team could take advantage of early game kills, right? You have a Terrorblade. Every time you get a kill, that's a tower early on. So I really like this decision of not going drums and going for the blink because specifically that you have a Terrorblade. So I'm going to look towards them kind of comboing up in about a couple of minutes.
This is what we were sort of talking about during the draft. You have this heavy tempo coming in from LGD, and some of the things that Draskell was alluding to, that if we do end up getting a hell of an item advantage early on, is they're going to go here onto this Ember Spirit, pull it back in. They're trying to TP in the Earthshaker, but he doesn't have 6 yet. It's going to throw out the Fissure. Not going to block in Old 11. Still a battle of Brew, and Yao is there as well. They brought in the Terrorblade. Almost out of mana right now. The OD, he does not have his ulti either, so can't really do much outside of throwing out a couple of those Astrals. 11 is going to die. A big 2% Torrent, and now Ame trying to get into their face, trying to bring him down. They've been able to catch now to break. He's going to take a hell of a lot of damage. They end up bringing him back with the X, and that's the OD dead as well. A double kill for Ame at this early stage. And as you alluded to, potentially a tower. Ember might not even be able to get out of here as well. They're actually bringing in Slaughter now. The quick jaunt away does mean that maybe is at least for the moment going to escape.
Yeah, I think the respawn time is a little bit too short here for LGD to get anything out of that victory. Oh, that was.
I think that's when you question.
I mean, we might be, because there is a couple of animation frames missing, but we might be seeing.
That's true.
Some sort of Kale, so maybe it was closer than. Yeah, I expected the Terrorblade rotation to come a couple minutes later because those kills weren't like they did get the kills, but it wasn't super clean. So unfortunately, they weren't able to get too much tower damage with it. But still, that's kind of the idea of the early LGD aggression. Use your low cooldown spells to get kills, and then pop the Metamorphosis for towers.
Puck building towards the. Looks like treads. I'm curious if he thinks about even just going into, like, I don't know. I guess you could go for an early bail here if you wanted. I don't know if it makes the biggest difference.
Can stop the flames.
Yeah, I think the early treads is very curious because normally if you want stats, your double no talisman plus the veil that it builds into just gives you pretty much all the stats you need. And if you want to go for an early game boots upgrade, most Puck just skips it for the bottom or for the blink. So I find this very curious.
Kunkka, level 4. It looks like, have they actually purchased the Tome yet? Dazzle's level 5, so that makes me think that they actually gave it to him, which is a little bit curious, but
Bad has blink.
Slardar going to be controlled, going to be caught. They have a Fissure. They're coming in with the Ember. They throw down the Echo. That's going to be Kunkka dropping down and dead. Old 11 just gonna have to bounce out of there before things end up turning even worse for him. Don't fight near the shrine, guys.
Yeah. This is one of the rare cases where you pick up the blink before he even has access into lasso. So that looked a little bit awkward there. I thought Old 11 was gonna take over the fight, but he's level 7. He doesn't even have lasso skilled yet.
So they didn't actually have the tome yet there for Kunkka, and now he's holding on to it. I guess, is he bringing that out for somebody else? Is he gonna give that to maybe?
No, not like this.
What?
Don't do
Okay.
that.
Radiant's middle tower is losing
I mean,
its
there's one
foundation.
thing to make your mid player feel good, but Kunkka needs 6.
Maybe he's holding on to it and it's gonna pop it right before a fight. That's the dream. They drop down the Warlock ulti. Gonna connect here. The Sunder at level 9 for Ame trying to walk away, and it looks like they are gonna be fine for the moment. They're still Fatal bonded up. But now in the area, they won't be able to make any use off the back of that Golem, I don't believe.
Yeah. So the reason to not pop the book right now for the Kunkka is that, let's say he uses it now and he dies. Dying as a level 5 hero is more costly than dying as a level 4. So there's no big difference between 4 and 5 anyways. He'll pop it if it brings him to 6, or if he needs to use it during the fight.
Okay.
Just a slight, small efficiency kind of thing. Not a big deal.
Min-maxing from Victoria. The ultimate of it. This is
Radiant's
gonna be an
middle
invis
tower
room.
is under attack.
In some ways,
Radiant structures
one
are
of the
fortified.
biggest kill
The
rooms
stream
you can get right
tells
now
of
is a puck.
tactics.
Level 10. See if he can make use of it as he will run into the Ember Spirit in the jungle and spot him out. Not using that invis yet. Now he's gonna head back mid. It looks like they might think about getting aggressive here with the Blink Dagger done and now level 6 online for Kunkka. This would be a big win for them if they could find somebody of value. And well, Rom is okay, and now the OD there as well. They jump forward, they've been able to catch onto him. The Fissure, they're pulling him back in. Boat is gonna connect as well as the Dream Coil, and now the OD in a hell of a lot of trouble. They're gonna be able to kill him off. Slardar is in the area as well. He might just feed his life away if he's not careful as they take down another, maybe killing off Rom, killing off Right, and now looking for more. The silence on it too, able to interrupt before that stun came out. They're chasing Dark and Earthshaker. Nowhere left to go. He can pop the shrine if he wants, but I don't think that it's going to end up doing anything for him.
Yeah, who's gonna get this kill? It's gonna be it's still alive for a little bit longer, but will go down. Well, as the end of the draft was asking, you guys were asking who do I think is gonna win this game. I said it's gonna be coming down to the mid player's performance. Right there, maybe just did everything that he needed to do and then some more. That last waning rift preventing the Slardar from coming in to get that 3-man crush was key to actually get the other kill. Meanwhile, during all of that chaos, Terrorblade does what Terrorblade does best and just takes down the mid tower. So if you ask if LGD is happy with their current game plan, yes they are. This is what their lineup is designed to do, and they're doing it pretty much flawlessly.
I guess the big question mark is going to be how much can they take before this OD comes online. In that last fight, he wasn't really able to be very effective immediately getting lassoed. He's going for the Force Staff and is going to have it completed now.
Yeah.
He needs to probably build into, what do you think? Do you think he need to go fully into the Blink Dagger at the next stage, or Hurricane Pike Anchor Treads?
Radiant's bottom tower
It seems like he wants to just stats up a little bit more, power treads, and then Hurricane Pike, and then into Blink. Hold that thought here as ZZZ might be... he's fine.
They're 25 mana away from lasso.
I mean, so you say OD comes online, right? But to me, that's like kind of air quotes, because I think traditionally OD likes to actually fit a Hand of Midas into the build to kind of really go hard into the mid game. But because of the very strong aggression coming out of LGD right now, yeah, he has a Force Staff, he could kind of fight right now, but really this is not going to be the mid-game dominance that we normally expect out of an OD.
Well, there might just be another kill here in a second. They end up using the X bottle trick. XP and 11 jumping forward. The rest of the team is here. The jump forward, the crush on the 3. The boat, the block is going to come down as well. Yao manages to get that grave off on himself, and now Old 11 pull back in, maybe with the turnaround. He gets the silence off. Do they have the follow-up damage though? Old 11 barely staying alive through this one. Slardar is not with the rest of the team, but he's going to have another blink crush in a second. It looks like he's just going to have to call it off though. There's too much damage from all of these heroes. He doesn't get Old 11 trying to run away. They are going to be able to get out of there for the moment. The Fatal Bonds, not enough to tick down Old 11 as of yet. He can go for the XTP away if he wants to and just get healed all the way back up to full. Looks like he's going to walk home. But a great fight there for LGD.
Yeah, To me, that is... they even missed the initiation combo on the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit was able to dodge away from the, I believe the boat, right? And then but Puck just tracked him down and got the kill. That was a very strong early showing of the Blink Dagger from Slaughter. That surprised me how early he was able to get it. This is a 4-position Slaughter being able to pick up a Blink Dagger for a 15-minute fight. That's crazy for him from Eloquent. Despite hitting a very good crush, his team just doesn't have what it takes to actually win that true fight. And the rest was history. LGD wins yet another big one. They were up 7K net worth lead in 16 minutes. That's crazy.
This is the power of this type of draft, the run at you stuff. Even from the very beginning, we said that it was going to be a possibility, and that Terrorblade pick working out very well. And I think that there was a panel that I was on the other day where we were talking about Terrorblade and that we haven't seen him all that often recently. And I mean, this is showing the hero is certainly can fit within the current meta.
I think one aspect of this is though, right now LGD is making it look much easier than it actually is. Because if you mess up one of these timing where you go into a gank / tower push and you fail, Terrorblade loses a lot of his steam. So LGD is making it look easy because he's kind of good at this game. But there's a lot of times that these kind of lineup just doesn't work. So maybe that's why we don't see it as frequently as we used to.
Yeah. I love that, by the way. LGD's kind of good at this game. I agree.
I mean, they're not a TI yet. So.
That's fair enough. Yeah. All right, LGD, they're going to make that move up towards the north. See if they can find any of these heroes, as it looks like EHOME.KEEN has set up Ember in the area.
11 is really far away from his team right now. So.
And they're wrapping around, though, and this is going to be big. They have the Remnant worn off now, so he doesn't have anywhere left to go. They're going to find the Warlock at the start. Still 15 seconds away from his ulti, and there's maybe. He breaks the TP away that was coming out from CCC, and he's going to be brought down in just a second. Oh, man, that is rough. And now, with Metamorphosis popped,
another
what's
tower.
Stop him?
Yeah, another kill, another tower. That is the rinse and repeat game plan. Although he's not going to go for it. Where is he actually walking towards to? I'm not sure.
All right.
He does have Mantis Cell being delivered as well.
See, this is the thing. This is what always freaks me out about LGD. They have these great timing pushes, and then for some reason they don't decide to go fully forward for it.
Warlock ult's back on. Maybe that's why they feel like, okay, look, we want to fight, but let's pump our brakes a little bit. We are somewhat further away from the
Blink Dagger reveal. There it is, mid lane. They found maybe. They're taking him down, but no, he gets a phase shift off. They're able to turn it back around. How does that happen? And now Dark, he's going to end up being brought back in, killed off in just a second here, most likely, unless he's able to get out of there. No. Yeah, they got him.
Maybe he's not going to let him run.
Like, oh, that would have been such a big kill. And now, Old 11, he's just going to find another kill on Ember. The wheels are falling off.
How does he solo kill an
but
Ember Spirit as a Bat Rider without lasso?
Yeah.
What?
Radiant's middle tower
Old
is
11.
under attack. It will
He's a
fall
god.
like a ripe apple.
All right. The true E-God, I guess.
Is it Old
Radiant's
God?
middle
Is that
tower
what we say? Or
losing
E-God?
its foundation.
I guess there's more than a few olds, though. That's the problem.
Are there any other E-Gods, though? Is Envy on that list of E-Gods?
No comment.
No comment. Well, he is a Sama, so I suppose that qualifies. All right, back to this game. EHOME needs to break the momentum. They do have everything that they need to actually win a fight. No Echo Slam, but the key parts of the fight is the Rock, the Fatal Bonds, and the Blink Crush. So if they catch LGD kind of with hands down, they can just win a fight and get a tower. But it seems like LGD is just one step ahead. They know this is happening.
Yeah, and they're walking uphill in towards the shrine. They're actually just going to drop a ward there. This is traditionally a very scary place to fight. But if they have all the vision in the world, they're going to... I thought that they might turn around and go back onto Ame, but it's a smoke then instead. And maybe EHOME.KEEN are going to be the ones that get caught. It's a 4-staff done for Old 11. So pulling somebody out of position at the start of this one is definitely what they're looking to do. And well, heading over. And they break the smoke on the tower, but they can't find anybody, at least yet. And right now, they don't have vision from EHOME of anybody in the area, but they might be expecting this. And honestly, if you find a kill right here, if you find a big pickoff, Ame can tear through even a tier 3 tower if they're not careful. There's
Does
the
Ember Spirit count?
Walking forward, they have the lasso, the 4-step as well. Do they go on him.
They don't want to blink in the bat and get blink rush and get rocked. That's how you lose your momentum as a bat rider. So he's like, look, my Terrorblade's hitting the building.
He's thinking about it now, though, and there's the jump forward. He's going to be able to pull back in another, the OD, the bigger target, but they get the disarm. There's the rock onto 2. The boat is going to come in, so all that damage mitigation, they're able to walk away on that Ember Spirit. Still a lot of damage being dealt on the wrong and the tower. The Echo Slam turnaround with the Fatal Bonds. Is it going to be enough, Dark? He's still going to get blown up here, but maybe with OD in the area, can they bring the rest of them down? Doesn't look like it as of yet. Everybody gone. LGD destroying EHOME.KEEN.
That was a terrible Echo Slam. I mean, it hit a lot of heroes, but he used them as his whole team was backing off because his whole team took a bolt and they had to back off. How do you hit a 4-man Echo but still be bad at it? That's how, because you gotta communicate with the team, and like you said, you got a Terrorblade, you win a team fight. That's Rex at 21 minutes.
Man.
Am I being a little bit harsh there?
I don't know. Again, it's like it's one of those things where it looks like it is so good, but the end result ends up not being so good. And really, to me, it feels like it's more not everybody on the same page than, you know, maybe that is it bad in a way. I'm not sure. It's hard to call it. But the biggest thing for me is that, like you said, EHOME.KEEN down a lane of racks this early. The Terrorblade lineup has done what it was meant to do. And the only thing that's left really at this point is going in for Roshan and clean up the rest of these tier 2s.
Get tier 2s, go high ground. I mean, there's a BKB on Terrorblade with the man to self finish. My goodness. He's almost doubled up on OD's net worth. I don't know how EHOME.KEEN could make a comeback. I think Blink Dagger helps a lot on Fluorescent if he could finish it on OD, but and the play there is to like blink in the front to use the Hurricane Pike to push back a hero, get a whole bunch of int stacked up, kind of sort of slow down / defend your towers that way.
Yeah.
But he needs to get BKB because a coil means he's dead.
That's
or a lasso means he's dead.
Like they're just an item behind. That's really what it comes down to. It's 16,000 net worth lead right now for LGD, and while OD definitely counters Terrorblade in the later stages if they were able to get it, like you mentioned, there's no Midas on this OD. He's not going to be scaling as well as he needs to, and he's also not going to be getting the levels that he needs to. He's still 2 levels behind both that Puck and the Terrorblade.
Shaker gonna get caught here on the bottom side.
End up being able to find him yet again. The silence comes out. Dark hits the ground. LGD looking strong after a 2-0 for their previous opponents, LDG-GAMING. I think the other thing that's really cool about this draft is the Kunkka maintaining that momentum early, the XTP combos to make sure that the rest of your team is constantly on the map, either farming or pushing or fighting, whatever they have to do. Yep. It's been really good for them.
It's a very nice addition to a push strat because during the middle of your push, you know, you send somebody back to juice up.
It's like having a buyback, especially if they commit all of it onto one hero and X. Oh no, he's already used his Force Staff as well. They're pulling him back in. Boat's gonna connect. A ton of damage. The Warlock ulti used defensively outside of the base, and they are still going to lose that OD, and now they're gonna end up losing even more. Fuel Scepter keeping that Ember Spirit alive for the moment. Can he actually play his way out of this one? The Fissure is there as well, just trying to block it off. Doesn't actually connect onto any of them, and the buyback from OD, I don't even know if that's gonna be enough to stop them. They're continuing to just run at EHOME.KEEN. They don't have an answer right now. LGD just bullying them around, but maybe as they end up being able to take them down here, Ame is still in okay place.
He still got BKB, he just popped the Manta. Now Eloquent inside a tree, he's not looking so eloquent right now. Is gonna just get punched down by all of these illusions. That was a buyback, that was their final hold essentially in this game for EHOME. And I think a GG is coming out very, very soon. Oh, maybe not, because LG is gonna back off for now and take a couple of shrines, perhaps wait for the next Roche.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing, right? Is that Roche is here. Like, they can go in and take this right now because there isn't a rock. They ended up using that one. Yep. They maybe have to be a little bit careful about Sunny's Eclipse and Echo Slam. That might be the only thing.
Yep, they keep doing the X TP back home thing. 11's back with full mana. It's gonna be a tough one for EHOME.KEEN, but We've seen games with bigger leads being thrown before. Like just one game ago, you know, Vichy Gaming had a huge lead against LGD.
And more specifically, this LGD team in particular has thrown away a number of leads.
For sure, for sure. But I want to say this lead is bigger than the one that
Right.
Vichy had against them.
Like, that's the thing, is that also, they've not gotten through a bunch of qualifiers. They've been knocked out early, but this is the one that really, truly matters. Getting in for TI and winning one best of 3 ends up getting you there.
The way you say it like that just makes me feel sad because it's like Clutch Gamer, but the opposite, right?
I know, that's the thing.
Clutch Gamer qualifies to everything, but the one that, you know, really means a lot.
Well, and I mean, that's... I was talking about this a little bit here, but you look at all these teams that play their hearts out, and when you're watching from afar away, it's easy to not think about it too much, but then when you actually see the players in person at events or whatever,
This is their career on the line. It could be for some of these players. You know, who knows what happens next year, so.
All right, LGD looking to try and secure themselves
that's
a
a good
spot.
coil.
For the first one, jumps forward, they catch, they pull him back in, breaking the coil. The stun is there, OD is dead. Soon to be wrong, they throw in an Echo Slam for all it's worth, but it's not enough. The boat, the damage mitigation, they're gonna take down Wrong as well. They don't have an answer. He's just standing there accepting his fate. And with the Ember soon to fall down as well, the silence, the right clicks, the Yules. Good game is called, and LGD one away from Seattle.
Turrets are under attack. Dire victory.
Very impressive zone for LGD. I love the item choice for 011, going for the blink instead of the drums. I mentioned that in game.
Eh,